Hello everyone, my name is Nirjhar Ghosh. Basic concept of total utility and marginal utility under the cardinal measurement. Total utility means the total amount or the overall amount of satisfaction that a rational consumer can gain by consuming their various types of goods in different units. Suppose maybe we are consuming apples, and for different unit of apples we are receiving different amount of goods. For the first unit maybe we are getting 20 utils of utility, for the second that is 15, for the third that is 10. So if we add these three different units, then the from first unit that was 20, for the second that is 15, so as a whole total is 35. Again for the third unit we will receive 10 utils, so the total amount will be 45. So in this way, you can easily calculate the utility measurement or the total utility measurement. Now come to the second part, that is the marginal utility concept. What does it mean? Marginal utility is nothing but the additional amount of satisfaction that a consumer receives while they are purchasing one extra unit of goods. Say for example, suppose for the this one is the quantity and this one is the total utility and this one is the marginal utility. How can we calculate it? For the first unit, maybe your total utility is 20 units. For the second unit, as a whole total utility from these two units is 35. For the third unit of consumption, as a whole total utility will be maybe 45 units. So initially your consumption was first unit, your utility was 20. For the second unit, total utility becomes 35. So the change is from 20 to 35, the change is 15. So how can you define these things? 35 minus 20, that is 15. For the next, again that will be 45 minus 35, that is 10. So we can summarize that. For the first unit, our total utility is 20. We can't calculate the marginal utility just because initially we do not have the proper information. এর আগে আমাদের ইনফরমেশন কোনো কিছু নেই, তাই এই ইউনিটটা আমাদের পক্ষে ক্যালকুলেট করা একটু ডিফিকাল্ট। ফর দ্য সেকেন্ড ইউনিট উই ক্যান ইজিলি ক্যালকুলেট ইট বিকজ আগের স্টেজে টোটাল ইউটিলিটি ছিল 20, সেকেন্ড ইউনিট কনজিউম করার জন্য টোটাল ইউটিলিটি ইনক্রিজ করে হয়েছে 35। সো দ্য ডিফারেন্স ইজ 20 and 35. So 35 minus 20, that is 15 utils. For the third unit, marginal utility will be 10. That's why for the second unit or mu2, that will be 15. For mu3, that will be 10. So in this way you can easily calculate the marginal utility. So if we summarize the formula, then we can write this: mu is nothing but the change in total utility, change means delta, by change in consumption units, del q. Or one can write these things in this way: mu nth unit, nth means it may be 3, it may be second. So mu n means tun minus tun minus 1. So this is the actual way how you actually calculate marginal utility from the total utility table. Okay. Now come to the law of diminishing marginal utility concept. This is one of the major important concept under the economics. How does it mean? Actually, the thing is diminishing marginal utility. In English, diminishing means it's decreasing. So diminishing marginal utility states that if a rational consumer consume one particular goods more and more, then the additional utility receives from each and every successive unit of consumption always goes down. Say for example, for first unit of apples, maybe I will have 20 utils of utility. For the second unit, total utility is 35. So for the second unit particularly, my additional unit of receiving utils is 15 units. For the third, maybe 10. So it's gradually decreasing. From the first one, it was 20 utils. For the second one, I will have 15 units. And for the third one, I will have only 10 units. That's why this is the gradually decreasing trend. So law of diminishing marginal utility states that as consumption increases, the additional satisfaction from each extra unit always decrease or diminish. So this is the example. For the first unit of ice cream, maybe I will receive 10 utils. For the second unit, I will receive 8 utils. For the third unit, I will receive 5 utils. And this is basically the approach how the marginal utility reacts. Now the second portion of the utility. First one was cardinal. This one is ordinal approach. Under ordinal approach, we can't express it by numerical measurement. That's why ordinal approach basically based on preference ordering. How we prefer the commodities over one another one. Suppose there are two different commodities A and B, and I need to choose a single commodity. Then for ordinal utility, I can choose commodity A over B, or I can choose commodity B over A. So we can't express it by the numerical measurement, but we can choose that things in terms of preference ordering. By utilizing this ordinal measurement, in the future we will proceed to the indifference curve concept. এই জিনিসটি নিয়ে আমরা পরে ইনডিফারেন্স কার্ভের ডিটেইল আমরা পড়াশোনা করব।